Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Gopika Jeevana Smaranam Govinda Govinda Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantahe. Namo Namah Sadgurubhyo Namo Namah. Namo Namah Sadgurubhyo Namo Namah. Satchidananda Rupaya Vishwotpatyadi Hetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Numah. Yam Pravrajantam Anupetam Apeta Dvaipayano Viraha Katara Ajuhava Putreti Tanmayataya Tarabobhineduhu Tam Sarvabhuta Hridayam Munimanatosmi Yaswanubhavam Akila Shruti Adhyatmadhipam Atititirshatam Tamondham Samsarinam Karunayaha Purana Guhyam Tam Vyasa Sunum Upayami Gurum Muninam Yogindraya Namastasmai Shukaya Brahma Rupine Samsara Sarpadashtam Yo Vishnuratam Amumuchate Kalavyala Mukagrasa Trasa Nirnasha Hetave Srimad Bhagavatam Shastram Kalokirena Bhashitam Etasmadaparam Kinchitem Manashuddhyena Vidyate Janmantare Bhavet Punyam Tada Bhagavatam Labhet Jnana Sampurnan Haribhaktif Parayanan Purvacharyataham Vande Sampradaya Pravartakan Bhagavan Nama Samrajyam Lakshmi Sarvasva Vigraham Srimad Bodhendra Yogindra Deshikendram Upasmahe Kalikalochitam Dharmam Nama Sankirtanatmakam Nirnetum Avatirnam Tam Premikam Sadgurum Bhaje Hare Rameti Krishneti Nama Sankirtanam Sada Lokakshemaya Kurvantam Premikam Sadgurum Bhaje Janmadhyasya yatonvayadi taratas chateshvabhignaswarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kabaye Muhyanti Yatsurayah Tejo Vari Mridam Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Mrisha Hamna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi Dharma Projita Kaita Votra Paramo Nirmat Saranam Satam Vedhyam Vastavamatra Vastu Shivadam Tapatrayoन्मूलनम् श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृद्य वरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषिभिस्तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखात् अमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् श्रीमद्भागवताख्योऽयं प्रत्यक्ष कृष्ण एव हि स्वीकृतोऽसि मया नाथ मुख्यर्थं भवसागरे मनोरथो मदीयोऽयं सफलः सर्वथा त्वया निर्विघ्नेनैव कर्तव्यो दासोऽहं तव केशव श्रीहरये नमः श्रीहरये नमः श्रीहरये नमः गोपिका जीवनस्मरणं गोविन्दा गोविन्दा Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so we'll do a review of 3.33 from 31. Let's see who I had today. So Aarti, you can do one half, and Shobha, you can do one half. You can do 19 stanzas each. Who wants to go first?
I can go. So 37 and 12.
Sorry, that's ஒரே ஒரு question. நான் வந்து படிச்சுட்டே இருக்கேன். The 28 of the Skandam 4, I have a doubt. The first line இல்லையா, ஏகோ மகே பகவான் விவித பிரதான, அதை என்னோ எழுதி வச்சிருக்கேன். I can't understand. பிரதானைஹி ஆக்குமல்லவா, பிரதான அல்ல பிரதானை. And அடுத்தது
and the ish will go away, become a visarga there. So
சித்திகிருத, அந்த சித்திகிருத. Super. Thank you.
இன்னைக்கு என்ன ரிவ்யூ நடக்கிறது? 4 தானே?
3.33 we have 7 more stanzas to review. So from 31st stanza of 3.33.
Oh, okay. I thought 4 la da
4 la da 1 to 13 and
நானும் அது அப்படிதான் போட்டிருந்தது. Yeah.
I must have forgotten to put this. Yeah. So I think 7 stanzas of Arti 33 and then 12 stanzas of
12 stanzas.
4.1.
And does anyone notice the recording when the last in the or a few lines or last line has got cut off
In which one?
in the 4 point whatever in the.
Oh yeah, I think I must have recorded only till 30. I think I
30,
cut
yeah,
it off
correct.
30. Yeah.
30 வரைக்கும் தான் இருக்கு. 30 வரைக்கும்.
No, when I cut the recording, I made a mistake. I thought it was up to 30, but we actually did up to 31. Yeah.
Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. तद्वीरासीत् पुण्यतमं क्षेत्रं त्रैलोक्यविश्रुतं नाम्ना सिद्धपदं यत्र सा संसिद्धिम् उपेयुषी तस्यास्तद्योगविदुतमार्त्यं मर्त्यं भूत्सरित् श्रोतसां प्रवरा सौम्य सिद्धिता सिद्धसेविता कपिलोऽपि महायोगी भगवान् पितुराश्रमात् मातरं समनुज्ञाप्य प्रागुदीचीं दिशं ययौ सिद्धचारण गन्धर्वैः मुनिभिश्चाप्सरो गणैः स्तूयमानः समुद्रेण दत्तार्हणनिकेतनः आस्ते योगं समास्थाय साङ्ख्याचार्यैरभिष्टुतः त्रयाणामपि लोकानाम् उपशान्त्यै समाहितः एतन्निगदितं तात यत्पृष्टोऽहं तवानग कपिलस्य च संवादो देवहूत्याश्च पावनः य इदम् अनुशृणोति यो विधत्ते कपिलमुनेर्मतमात्मयोगगुह्यं भगवती कृतधी सुपर्णकेतौ उपलभते भगवत्पदारविन्दम् इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे वैयासिक्याम् अष्टादशसाहस्र्यां पारमहंस्यां संहितायां तृतीयस्कन्धे कापिलेयोपाख्याने त्रयस्त्रिंशोऽध्यायः इति स्कन्धः हरि ओं तत्सत् चतुर्थस्कन्धः अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः मैत्रेय उवाच मनोस्तु शतरूपायां तिस्रः कन्याश्च जज्ञिरे आकूतिर्देवहूतिश्च प्रसूतिरिति विश्रुताः आकूतिं रुचये प्रादात् भ्रातृमतीं नृपः पुत्रिका धर्ममाश्रित्य शतरूपानुमोदितः प्रजापतिः स भगवान् रुचिस्तस्यामजीजनत् मिथुनं ब्रह्मवर्चस्वी परमेण समाधिना यस्तयोः पुरुषः साक्षात् विष्णुर्युग्मस्वरूपदृक् या स्त्री सा दक्षिणाभूतेः अंशभूतानपायिनी.
I think the first line, Vishnu Yajna. I think maybe you said, I heard Yugnya by mistake, but Vishnu Yajna Swarupa.
यज्ञ स्वरूप यज्ञ எழுதியிருக்கேன். आनिन्ये स्वगृहं पुत्र्याः पुत्रं विततरोचिषं स्वायम्भुवो मुदा युक्तो रुचिर्जग्राह दक्षिणां तां कामयानां भगवान् उवाह यजुषां पतिः तुष्टायां तोषमापन्नो जनयद्वादशात्मजान् तोषः प्रतोषः सन्तोषो भद्रशान्तिरिडस्पतिः इद्मः कविर्विभुस्वन्नः सुदेवो रोचनो द्विषट् तुषिता नाम देवाः आसन् स्वायम्भुवान्तरे मरीचिमिश्रा ऋषयो यज्ञसुरगणेश्वरः प्रियव्रतोत्तानपादौ मनुपुत्रौ महौजसौ तत्पुत्रपौत्रनप्तॄणाम् अनुवृत्तं तदन्तरं देवहूतिमदात्तात कर्दमायात्मजां मनुः तत्सम्बन्धि श्रुतप्रायं भवता गदमो मम गदतो मम दक्षाय ब्रह्मपुत्राय प्रसूतिं भगवान् मनुः प्रायच्छत् यत्कृतः सर्गः त्रिलोक्यं विततो महान् याः कर्दमसुताः प्रोक्ताः नवब्रह्मर्षिपत्नयः तासां प्रसूतिप्रसवं प्रोच्यमानं निबोध मे.
Yeah, you can stop.
पत्नी मरीचेस्तु कला सुशुभे कर्तमात्मजा कश्यपं पूर्णिमानं च ययोरापूरिदं जगत् पूर्णिमा सुद எனக்கு டியூன் போயிடுது கொஞ்சம் சொல்றடா இருக்கா
पूर्णिमा सूत विरजम
विरजम विश्वकम थैंक यू पूर्णिमा सुते विरजम विश्वकम परले विश्वकम च परन्तप
let me do that once. पूर्णिमा सूत विरजम विश्वगम च परम तप देवकुल्यां हरेः पाद शौचात्याभूत्सरिद्दिवः.
थैंक यू
Got it?
almost
Don't worry about it. Yeah, keep going.
okay
Yeah.
sure पूर्णिमा सुद विरजम विश्वकम च परन्तप देवकुल्या हरेः पाद शौचात्याभूरिस्त्रि शौचात्याभूत्सरिद्दिवः सरिद्दिवः अत्रे पत्न्य न सुयात्री यज्ञे सूयमशसुतान् दत्तं दुर्वाससं सोमम् अर्थमेष ब्रह्म संभवान्
आत्मेष ब्रह्म संभवान्
विदुर उवाच अत्रे गृहे सुरश्रेष्ठाः सिद्ध्युत्पत्त्यन्त हेतवः किञ्चित् कीर्षवो जाताः एतदाख्याहि मे गुरो मैत्रेय उवाच நான் என்ன பகவத்கீதை மாதிரி பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன் சாரி
अत्रेर्गृहे सुरश्रेष्ठाः स्थित्युत्पत्त्यन्त हेतवः किञ्चित् चिकीर्षवो जाताः एतदाख्याहि मे गुरो
मैत्रेय उवाच ब्रह्मणा चोदित सृष्टौ अत्रिब्रह्मविदां वरः सः पत्न्यायया वृक्षम् कुलाद्रिं तपसि स्थितः तस्मिन् प्रसून स्तबक बलाशाशोककानने वार्भिस्रवत् पिरुत्कुष्टे निर्बन्ध्यायासमन्ततः प्राणायामेन संयम्य मनोवर्षशतं मुनिः अधिष्टदेकपादेन निर्द्वन्द्वो निलभोजनः शरणं तं प्रपद्येऽहं य एव जगदीश्वरः प्रजामात् मसमामह्यं प्रयच्छद्विधि चिन्तयन् तप्यमानं त्रिभुवनं प्राणायामैद साग्निना निर्गतेन मुनेर्मूर्ध्नः समीक्ष्य प्रभवस्त्रयः अप्सरो मुनिगन्धर्व सिद्ध विद्याधरोरकैः विदाय माने शसः तदाश्र अपदं
you're going fine only. Keep going. That's okay.
எப்படியோ sorry என்னோடது தத்பிராதுர்பா எத்தனை சொல்லி கொடுத்தாலும் அப்படியே வருது
No, that's okay. Don't worry. Keep going.
तत्प्रादुर्बा तत्र तत्प्रा I think I'll stop here. Sorry.
No, no, anybody else want to just finish it off? Yeah, go ahead.
I can do it.
Okay, I think
Okay.
Sindhu raised her hand. Yeah, just finish it off. I think it's 10 more stanzas, 8 more stanzas. Yeah.
Which stanza was?
I think 23. You would continue 23 to 30. Yeah.
तत् प्रादुर्भाव संयोग विद्योतितमना मुनिः उत्तिष्ठन्नेकपातेन तदर्श विबुदर्शवान् प्रणम्य दण्डवत् भूमावुपतस्तेर्हणाञ्जलिः वृषहंस सुपर्णस्तान् स्वहैश्चित्कनैश्च सिग्नितान्
David, in the first line, Dandavad Bhumau, comma. Upatas. The woo becomes a ow and oo. And then the next line, the swice is swice.
Swice
Swice is swice chinnaishcha chinnitan.
Yeah. Swice signitan.
Chinnitan, yeah.
कृपावलोकेन असत्वदने नोबलं विदान् दत्तिरोषिसा प्रतिहते निमील्य मुनिरक्षिणी सैतस्तत्प्रवणं युञ्जन्नस्तावीत् संहताञ्जलिः श्लक्ष्ण्या सुगदया वासा सर्वलोककरीयशः
Second line, first word, Shlakshnaya.
लक्षणया.
Shlakshnaya.
Okay. Slakšnaya suktya vacha sarvaloka.
Suktaya vacha.
Slakšnaya suktaya vacha sarvalokagariyasah atrirvacha विश्वोद्भवस्थितिलयेषु विभज्यमानैः मायागुणैरनुयुगं विगृहीतदेहः ते ब्रह्मा विष्णुगिरीशाः प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं वः சொல்லலாமா அப்படி?
Yeah, that's correct. But Girishaf, if sound. Girishaf pranatosmyaham vaha.
ते ब्रह्म विष्णु गिरिशा प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं वः देभ्यः क एव भवतां म इहो बहुतः एको मयेह भगवान् विविधप्रदानैः सिद्धीकृतः प्रजनानय गतं नु यूयम्
Atragatasthanu
अत्रागतास्तनुप्रतां मनोऽसि दूरात् रुद प्रसीदत महानिह विस्मयो मे मैत्री विस्मयो मे ओके प्रूद प्रसीद महानिह विस्मयो मे मैत्रेय उवाच इति तस्य वच श्रुत्वा त्रस्यस्ते विबुदर्शवाः प्रत्याहुः श्लक्ष्णया वाचा बृहस्यतं ऋषिं प्रभो देवावूचुः
Trayaste vibhudharshabhaha.
ரகசியம் இல்லையா?
Trayaste.
எங்க சொல்றீங்க?
The first line after the comma, Shrutva. Iti tasya vacha Shrutva. Trayaste.
इति तस्य वच श्रुत्वा त्रयस्ते विबुदर्शभाः प्रत्याहुः श्लक्ष्णया वाचा प्रहस्य तं ऋषिं प्रभो.
After vacha comma, the line is Shlakshnaya vacha. Yeah.
श्लक्ष्णया वाचा प्रहस्य तं ऋषिं प्रभो. அது வரைக்கும் தான் சொன்னோமா?
30 also.
देवावूचुः यदा कृत्स्ते सङ्कल्पो भाव्यं तेनैव नान्यता सत्सङ्कल्पपश्यते ब्रह्मन् यद्वैद्यायति ते वयम् अतास्मदंशभूतास्ते आत्मजा लोकविश्रुताः भवितारोङ्गपत्रं ते विश्रप्स्यन्ति शते यशः एवं
Rajesh, I have a doubt. In sloka number 7, second line, and the idma kavir vibhuhu, the next word, do you say it's a half her and a na, right?
And the half like vanni and swanna, that ha is generally a silent one. So it's like not a full ihir. So swannaha, or you can say swahnaha. It's not wrong.
That's correct, right? Okay.
Right word is swannaha.
Swannaha.
ஒன்னோட இடத்துல சையம்யன்னு சொல்லணுமா சம்யம்யன்னு சொல்லணுமா?
எந்த இடத்துல?
ஒரு ஆர்த்தி படிச்சதுல ஒண்ணு வரும் சையம்ய.
I don't know which one.
Earlier, I mean the fourth chapter earlier.
Yeah.
And then one more clarification I had, Rajesh, in sloka number 17. Brahmana chodita sushtauva. Is there a va after the au?
Yeah, you will have srishtava, so that the ba goes away and becomes a srishtau and atrir brahma vidambaraha.
Got it. Thank you. I marked it incorrectly. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So let's start with 32. Let me see who I had today. Priya Srikumar, who can be student, and Vasu, you can be student. Evam kamavaram dattva, prati jagmus sureshwaraha sabhajitas tayos samyak. So if you have a half ig in Sanskrit, ga, half ga, that becomes a ik when you pause there. So samyak, dampatyor mishatosthatah. Evam kamavaram dattva प्रतिजग्मुः सुरेश्वराः सभाजितास्तयोः सम्यक् दम्पत्योर्मिषतोस्ततः
एवं कामवरं दत्त्वा प्रतिजग्मुः सुरेश्वराः सभाजितास्तयोः सम्यक् दम्पत्योर्मिषतोस्ततः
एवं कामवरं दत्त्वा प्रतिजग्मुः सुरेश्वराः सभाजितास्तयोः सम्यक् दम्पत्योर्मिषतोस्ततः
सोमोभूत् ब्रह्मणोंशेन ब्रह्मण अंशेन but it's one word ब्रह्मणोंशेन दत्तो विष्णोस्तु योगवित् दुर्वासाश् शङ्करस्यांशो निबोधाङ्गिरसः प्रजाः. So like I said, we were kind of going through the story of through what is happening to Atri and Anasuya. So when the three deities come, three gods come, then out of Brahmana Amshena, out of an Amsha of Brahmana, Soma is born. Up from the Amsam of Vishnu, Dattatreya, Datta is born. And then from the Amsam of Shiva, Durvasa is born. So Somo Bhut Brahmanomshena Datto Vishnostu Yogavitte Durvasa Shankarasyansho Nibodhangirasah Prajaha.
सोमो भूद्ब्रह्मणोंशेन दत्तो विष्णुस्तु योगवित् दुर्वासा शङ्करस्यांशो निर्बोधाङ्गिरसः प्रजाः.
There's no ir there.
निबोधाङ्गिरसः प्रजाः.
सोमो भूद्ब्रह्मणोशेन दत्तो विष्णोस्तु योगवित् दुर्वासा शङ्करस्वांशो आङ्गिरसः प्रजाः.
Word correct Angirasa, but that becomes like it gets joined with the previous word. So Nibodhangirasah Prajaha.
Oh, and the word split பண்ணி நம்ம சொல்லக்கூடாதா?
Generally, it's not the right way. The right is to just say it together.
Nibodhangirasah prajaha.
Yeah. Shraddha Twangirasah Patni, Chatasrosuta Kanyakaha Sinivali Kuhu Raka, Chaturtyanumitas, one word, Tatha. If you're kind of if you open the PDF, right, which had the lineage, this is now going to the Shraddha and Angira. So Shraddha is one of the daughters of Devahuti and Kardama. That doctor Devahuti is getting married to Angira. And then to that Angira are born four daughters and two sons. And one of the son is Brihaspati, who is the guru of the Deva. So the Brihaspati is born to Shraddha and Angira, where Shraddha is the daughter of Kardama and Devahuti, right? So that's kind of the lineage of Brihaspati. Next, Shukracharya will come, but this is the lineage of Brihaspati. Tat putra vaparhavastha. Sorry, is it the one? No, wrong one. Shraddha twangirasah patni chatasro suta kanyakaha sinhivali kuhuraka chaturtyanumitas
श्रद्धा त्वङ्गिरसः पत्नी चतस्रोऽसूतकन्यकाः सिनीवालिकुहूराग चतुर्थ्यनुमतिस्तथा.
Rajesh, the last வார்த்தை திருப்பி சொல்ல முடியுமா?
Chaturtyanumitas. It's a sandhi there, so you have to say it together. Chaturtyanumitas tatha.
Is it mitas or matis?
Oh, sorry, my bad. Chaturtyanumatis tatha. Yeah, sorry.
Chaturtyanumatis tatha, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shraddha twangirasah okay. Shraddha twangirasah patni chatasro suta kanyakaha shinivali kuhu rakha chaturtyanumatis-tatha.
Tat putrava paravastham. Cannot break that word, one long word. Tat putrava paravastham, khyatau swarochi shentare, one word. उदत्यो भगवान् साक्षात् कॉमा ब्रह्मिष्टश्च बृहस्पतिः तत्पुत्रावपरावास्तां ख्यातौ स्वारोचिषेन्तरे उदत्यो भगवान् साक्षात् ब्रह्मिष्टश्च बृहस्पतिः
तल् तल् तल्पुत्रावपरावास्तां ख्यातौ सारोचिषेन्दरे उदध्यो भगवान् साक्षात् ब्रह्मिष्टश्च बृहस्पतिः
तत्पुत्रावपरावास्तां ख्यातौ स्वारोचिषेन्तरे उतत्यो भगवान् साक्षात् ब्रह्मिष्टाश्च बृहस्पतिः
ब्रह्मिष्टश्च not ta sound
okay
illa
ब्रह्मिष्टश्च बृहस्पतिः
पुलस्त्यो जनयत one word पुलस्त्यो जनयत patnyam that ma we break it im comma agasthyam cha havirbhuvi sonya janmani dahragnihi agni so dahragnihi visarga comma next on top of the v there is a ir that goes away vishravascha mahatapaha. So now it's going to the next one. So we saw the Shraddha and Angira. If you go to the next one to Pulastya and Havirbu. Havirbu is the name of the daughter. She's getting married to the other Saptarishi called Pulastya. To them are actually born two children, Agastya and Vishrava. I'll talk about the next combination of the Vishrava, what happens. It comes a little later. But to them are born two children, Agastya and Vishrava. पुलस्त्यो जनयत् पत्न्याम् अगस्त्यं च हविर्भुवि सोऽन्यजन्मनि दह्राग्निः विश्रवाश्च महातपाः
पुलस्त्यो जनयन् पत्न्याम् अगस्त्यं च हविर्भुवि सोऽन्यजन्मनि दह्राग्निः विश्रवाश्च महातपाः
पुलस्त्यो जनयत् पत्न्याम् अगस्त्यं च हविर्भुवि सोऽन्यजन्मनि दह्राग्निः विश्रवाश्च महातपाः
तस्य यक्ष पतिर्देवः कुबेरस्त्विडविडासुतः रावणः कुम्भकर्णश्च तथान्यस्यां विभीषणः. So you can see from the chart there. So that Visrava, who is one of the son of Havirbhu and Pulastya, he has two wives. So one is Idavida, that's the first one, right? To the Idavida and Visrava is born Kubera, and then to Kesini, who is to her, and them are born three Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Vibhishana. I mean, they're not born now. That's the lineage talking about what's going to happen. So that's why Ravana and Kubera are like like cousins or of different mothers, right? Same father. तस्य यक्षपतिर्देवः कुबेरस्त्विडविडासुतः रावणः कुम्भकर्णश्च तथान्यस्यां विभीषणः
तस्य यक्षपतिर्देवः कुबेरस्त्विडबिडासुतः रावणः कुम्भकर्णश्च तथान्यस्यां विभीषणः
यक्षपतिर्देवः कुबेरस्त्विडविडासुतः रावणः कुम्भकर्णश्च तथान्यस्यां विभीषणः
पुलहस्य गतिर्भार्या त्रीनसूत सतीसुतान् कर्मश्रेष्ठं वरीयांसं सहिष्णुं च महामते. So next you go to Gati. Gati, who's one of the daughters. She's getting married to Pulaha. Like Pulaha, Pulastya, all of those are the various rishis. And to them, multiple sons are born who are also great sages. None of the names are very known names there, but Pulahasya Gatir Bharya Trinasuta Sati Sutan Karmasreshtham Variyamsam Sahishnum Cha Mahamate.
कुलहस्य गदिर्भार्या त्रीनसूतसती सुतान् कर्मश्रेष्ठं वरीयांसं सहिष्णुं च महामते
पुलहस्य गतिर्भार्या त्रिन Trina Suta Sati Sutan Karmasreshtam Variyam Yamsam Sahishnum Cha Mahamate.
First line after the comma, and the 3 is a long 3. Trina Suta.
Okay.
Okay. Kratorapi Kriya Bharya, comma, Balakilyana Suyatha Rishin Shashti Sahasrani, comma, Jwalato Brahma Tejasa. So next, Kriya is the name of the daughter, is getting married to Kratu, who is one of the Saptarishis. To them are born these famous sages called as Valakilyas. I think it comes somewhere later. I forget the context of where it comes, but there are like 60,000 sages called Valakilyas who are Brahma Tejasa, who are very powerful sages who are born to them. Kratorapi Kriya Bharya Valakilyana Rishin Shashti Sahasrani Jwalato Brahma Tejasa.
क्रतोरपि क्रिया भार्या वालखिल्यानसूयत ऋषीन् षष्टिसहस्राणि ज्वलतो ब्रह्म तेजसा.
Kratorapi Kriya Bharya Valakilyana Suyata Rishin Shashti Sahasrani Jwalato Brahma Tejasa.
Urjayam Jagnire Putraha, add a visarga comma, Putraha, Vasishthasya Param Tapa, Chitraketu Pradhanaste, comma, Sapta Brahmarshayo Malaha. Next, Vasishtha and Arundhati. So Arundhati's other name is Urja. So to Urja and Vasishtha, so the Urja is the daughter who gets married to Vasishtha. So they actually get, to them are born 7 sages. One of the famous one, he says, is Chitraketu. If you remember Chitraketu, that comes in Dashakam 23 of Narayaniam. He then later on becomes Vritasura. It's a very famous story that's going to come later on as part of the Narayana Kavacham. It comes in the 6th skandam of Bhagavatam. We're going to hear a lot about Chitraketu. So the Chitraketu is born to Vasishtha and Arundhati. Urjayam Jagnire Putraha Vasishthasya Param Tapa Chitraketu Pradhanaste Sapta Brahmarshayo Malaha.
ऊर्जायां जज्ञिरे पुत्राः वसिष्ठस्य परं तप चित्रकेतुप्रधानास्ते सप्त ब्रह्मर्षयो मलाः.
Urjayam Jagnire Putraha Vasishtasya Parantapa Chitraketu Pradhanaste Sapta Brahmarshayo Malaha.
Chitraketus Surochischa, Biraja Mitra Evacha, Ulbano Vasubhridyano, Dhuman Shaktyadayo Pare. It just gives the names of the other children who are born to Vasishtha and Arundhati. Chitraketus Surochischa, Biraja Mitra Evacha, Ulbano Vasubhridyano, Dhuman Shaktyadayo Pare.
चित्रकेतुः सुरोचिश्च विरजामित्र एव च उल्बणो वसुभृद्यानो द्युमान् शक्त्यादयो परे.
Chitraketu Surocischa Viraja Mitra Evacha Ulbhano Vasubhir Dhyano Dyuman Shaktyadhayo Pare.
Chittis Twatarvanaf Patni, Lebhe Putram Dhritabratam Dadyancham, breaking at that im, Dadyancham Ashwashirasam, Bhrigor Vamsham Nibodame. So next, if you could just scroll down, this one, let me see which one. To Atharva, that is this is 42, right? Yeah. So to Atharva and Sage, again, that is the other Shanti, Saanti, that is the name of the daughter. She gets married to Atharvana Rishi. And now to them, multiple children are born. Here the word Bhrigu is coming because he's going to talk about Bhrigu later. But to them, multiple children are born. Nothing, one of them's name is Dadyancha means something else here, but there was no names in this. So he just says they get married there. Chittestvatarvanah patni lebhe putram dhritavratam dadyancham ashvashirasam bhrigorvamsham nibodame.
चित्तिस्त्वथर्वणः पत्नी लेभे पुत्रं धृतव्रतं दध्यञ्चम् अश्वशिरसं भृगोर्वंशं निबोध मे
त्वत्तर्वनः पत्नी लेभे पुत्रं धृतव्रतं दध्यञ्चम् अश्वशिरसं भृगोर्वंशं निबोध मे.
The next few stanzas is going to talk about Bhrigu, the dynasty of Bhrigu. Bhrigu khyātyam mahabhāgah, patnyam putranajī janat, dhātāram cha vidhātāram, shriyam cha bhagavat param. Bhrigu khyātyam mahabhāgah, patnyam putranajī janat, dhātāram cha vidhātāram, shriyam cha bhagavat param.
ऋगुख्यात्यां महाभागः पत्न्यां पुत्रानजीजनद धातारं च विधातारं श्रियं च भगवत्पराम्
ऋगुख्यातं महाभागः पत्न्यां पुत्रानजीजनत् धातारं च विधातारं श्रियं च भगवत्परम्.
First line like khyātyam, a sound. Similarly, the last word is bhagavat param, a sound.
Okay.
Ayatim niyatim chaiva sute merustayoradhat tabhyam tayorabhavatam, mrikandah prana evacha. Ayatim niyatim chaiva sute merustayoradhat tabhyam tayorabhavatam mrikandah prana evacha.
आयतिं नियतिं चैव सुते मेरुस्तयोरदाद ताभ्यां तयोरभवतां मृगण्डः प्राण एव च
आयतिं नियतिं चैव सुते मेरुस्तयोरधात् ताभ्यां तयोरभवतां मृकण्डः प्राण एव च.
Markandeyo mrikandasya, pranat vedashira munihi kavischa bhargavo yasya, bhagavan ushana sutaha. So if you just look at the next second page in the thing, so Khyati and Bhrigu, to them are actually born, two sons, Data and Vidhata. That Dhata gets married to Ayati, Vidhata to Niyati, so marriage. And in that lineage to Dhata and Ayati, if you look at the lineage, Shukracharya is born. So who becomes later on becomes the guru of the Asura, Shukracharya. And then to Vidhata and Niyati is Mrikanda. To the Mrikanda, the son is Markandeya. So that is the lineage of Markandeya. So all of them, if you kind of see, majority of them trace back to greatest of rishis, trace back to Devahuti and Kardama, right? That lineage itself has got all the majority of the big rishis who are born.
So Nayati is a mother of Markandeya?
No, Mrikanda and the Vidata and Niyati ki Vidata Niyati Mrikanda is born. Then Mrikanda marries to Manaswini, to whom Markandeya is born.
Okay.
Okay, if you can, the arrow, I meant to say the arrow when I put it, this means to marriage between the two.
Okay. Thank you.
Ta ete munayaha kshattaha, so put a visarga.
Rajesh, sorry, 45 onnu mudikala Rajesh.
Oh, sorry. Markandeyo mrikandasya pranadvedashira munihi kavischa bhargavo yasya bhagavan ushana sutaha.
मार्कण्डेयो मृगण्डस्य प्राणाद्वेदशिरा मुनिः कविश्च भार्गवो यस्य भगवान् उशनासुतः
मार्कण्डेयो मृकण्डस्य प्राणाद्वेदशिरा मुनिः कविश्च भार्गवो यस्य भगवान् उशनासुतः.
We'll switch that's half right now. Savita, you can be a student, and Srividya Sriram, you can be a student.
Yeah.
Tayete munayaha. So that visarga has to come because ksha is coming later. Kshattaha, visarga, comma. Okay. And then the lokan, the ir will be there, that goes away. Lokan sargair abhavayan yesha kardama dauhitra, comma. Santanah katitastava Shrinvatash Shraddhadanasya Sadyah Papa Haraf Paraha. So this he says this he's kind of wrapping up the lineage of Kardama, right? He says with this, all this we saw the sons, the daughter of Kardama and Devahuti, and then to them all the sons, grandsons, and everything, and then the what do you call the population is growing that way, right? So he just ends the because if you go to the original hierarchy, right, we kind of talked about the 5 children of Swayambhuva Manu, and then he started with Devahuti, Akuti, and Prajapati Ruchi, to which Bhagavan was born as Yajna and Dakshina. And then we saw the Devahuti Kardama, the entire lineage. Now he's going to go to the other children of Swayambhuva Manu, right? That's
Rajesh, I have a question.
Mm.
In 36, we are talking about Agastya, right?
Mm.
But Agastya, we call him Kumbhasambhava, right?
Yeah. See, while he's born from the Kumbham, you're right, he's Kumbhasambhava because he's born from the pot. But something has to go into the pot, right?
Okay.
So just like how the Kauravas are born from the pot too, 100 of them. But you say they're the children of Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, right? So it is kind of like test tube, kind of a scenario, right? So again, some sperm or some female egg, something has to come and unite to create them. It was created in a pot, right? So that's what when they say Agastya is the son of somebody, it just means that by he is born from the pot, it cannot just come out of the pot.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, 46 முடிச்சிட்டோமா இல்லையா? We didn't finish 46. Okay. Tahete munayah kshattah lokan sargairabhavayan esha kardamadauhitra santanah katitastava shrinvata shraddadhanasya sadyah papaharah parah. Sabita, I can't hear you.
Mute panta.
You're not on mute, but we can't hear you still. Cannot hear you. Just try joining back again. Yeah, Srividya, go ahead. Yeah.
तयेते मुनयः श्रद्धः लोकान् सर्गैरपावयन् रभावयन् एष कर्धमतौ हित्र सन्तानगतिसप्तव शृण्वतः श्रद्धदानस्य सत्यः पापहरः परः.
And the first line la munayah and the visarga you have to say. Okay, munayah shattah. Yeah.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. Tayete munayah shattah lokan sargaira bhavayan yesha kardamadau hitra santanah katithastava shunvata shraddhadhanasya sadyah papaharah parah.
Prasutim manavim dakshah visarga comma upayeme hyajatmajah tasyam sasarja duhitruhu. Okay, so double r there, comma shodashamala lochanaha. So I'm going to go through a few stanzas of Daksha and then I'll tell the lineage of it. Prasutim manavim dakshah upaheme hyajatmajah tasyam sasarja duhitruhu shodashamala lochanaha.
प्रसूतिं मानवीं दक्षः उपयेमे ह्यजात्मजः तस्यां ससर्ज दुहितृः षोडशामललोचनाः.
प्रसूतिं मानवीं दक्षः उपयेमे ह्यजात्मजः तस्यां ससर्ज दुहितृः षोडशामललोचनाः.
Trayodashadhat dharmaya. We can break up to that first da. Trayodashadat. You can break there if you want. Dharmaya, comma. Tathaikam agnaye vibuhu. पितृभ्य एकां युक्तेभ्यो भवायैकां भवच्छिदे त्रयोदशाधा धर्माय तदैकामग्नये विभुः पितृभ्य एकां युक्तेभ्यो भवायैकां भवच्छिदे
त्रयोदशादा धर्माय तदैका अग्नये विभुः पितृभ्य एकां युक्तेभ्यो भावायैकां भवच्छिते
The last भवायैकां
भवच्छिदे
त्रयोदशादाद्धर्माय तथैकामग्नये विभुः पितृभ्य एकां युक्तेभ्यो भवायैकां भवच्छिदे
श्रद्धा मैत्री दया शांतिः विसर्गा कॉमा इस goes away शांतिः तुष्टिः पुष्टिः क्रियोन्नतिः बुद्धिर् मेधा तितिक्षा ह्रीः visarga that visarga comma ह्रीः next on top of the mu there is a ir that goes away मूर्तिर धर्मस्य पत्नयः श्रद्धा मैत्री दया शांतिः तुष्टिः पुष्टिः क्रियोन्नतिः बुद्धिर्मेधा तितिक्षा ह्रीः मूर्तिर्धर्मस्य पत्नयः
श्रद्धा मैत्री दया शान्तिः तुष्टिः पुष्टिः क्रियोन्नतिः बुद्धिर्मेधा तितिक्षा हीर திருப்பி சொல்லுங்க
ह्री long ह्री
ह्रीहि ओके ह्रीहि ओके बुद्धिर्मेधा तितिक्षा ह्रीहि मूर्तिर्धर्मस्य पत्नयः
श्रद्धा मैत्री दया शान्तिः तुष्टिः पुष्टिः क्रियोन्नतिः बुद्धिर्मेधा तितिक्षा ह्रीः मूर्तिर्धर्मस्य पत्नयः
श्रद्धा सूत शुभम मैत्री लॉन्ग ई कॉमा प्रसादम अभयम दया शांतिस सुखम मुदम तुष्टिः कॉमा स्मयं पुष्टिरसूयत if you want to break it पुष्टिरसूयत श्रद्धा सूत शुभम मैत्री प्रसादम अभयम दया शांतिस सुखम मुदम तुष्टिः स्मयं पुष्टिरसूयत
श्रद्धासूत शुभं मैत्री प्रसादमपयं दया शान्तिः सुखं मुदं तुष्टिः स्मयं पुष्टिरसूयत
श्रद्धासूत शुभं मैत्री प्रसादमभयं दया शान्तिः सुखं मुदं तुष्टिः स्मयं पुष्टिरसूयत
योगम क्रियोन्नतिर दर्पम break at that ma comma next word starts with a artham buddhirasuyata medha smritim titikshatu comma kshemam hrif prashrayam sutam मूर्तिस सर्व गुणोत्पत्तिः visarga comma next line the na there is a ir that goes away nara narayana vrishi
ராஜேஷ் ஒரு குவிக் கொஸ்டின் சாரி எனக்கு வந்து அந்த 52ல கொடுத்திருக்கான் அந்த மாத்திக்கணுமா நான்
இல்ல 52 தான் அது because it's just one line I'm just combining it right now but that is 52 is just one line
okay
because it's the incarnation of Nara Narayana they probably put it as a separate line but it's just one line
okay அது சொல்லும்போது அந்த லாஸ்ட் லைன் சொல்ற மாதிரி சொல்லிட்டேமா
ஆமாமா that way 53 will start new right
okay.
it's easier that way
yeah thank you
योगं क्रियोन्नतिर्दर्पम् अर्थं बुद्धिरसूयत मेधा स्मृतिं तितिक्षातु क्षेमं ह्रीः प्रश्रयं सुतं मूर्तिः सर्वगुणोत्पत्तिः नरनारायणा वृषि
योगं क्रियोन्नतिर्दर्पम् अर्थं बुद्धिरसूयत मेधा स्मृतिं दिदिक्षातु क्षेमं ह्रीः प्रश्रयं सुतं मूर्तिः सर्वगुणोत्पत्तिः नरनारायणा वृषि
योगं क्रियोन्नतिर्दर्पम् अर्थं बुद्धिरसूयत मेधा स्मृतिं तितिक्षातु क्षेमं ह्रीः प्रश्रयं सुतं मूर्तिः सर्वगुणोत्पत्तिः नरनारायणा वृषि
Yayor Janmanyado Vishwam, just breaking at that ma, comma, Abhyanandat Nivritam, which can say it, Abhyanandat Nivritam together. Manamsi Kakubho Vataha, comma, Prasedus Saritodrayaha. One word. Yayor Janmanyado Vishwam Abhyanandatsu Nivritam Manamsi Kakubho Vataha Prasedus Saritodrayaha.
यजोर्जन्मन्यतो विश्वम् अभ्यनन्दत्सु निवृतम् मनांसि ककुभो वाताः प्रदेशुः सरितोत्रयः
And the second line, Prasedus.
प्रसेदुः सरितोद्रयः
ययोर्जन्मन्यदो विश्वम् अभ्यनन्दत्सु निवृतम् मनांसि ककुभो वाताः प्रसेदुः सरितोद्रयः
Divya Vadhyanta Turyani, comma, Petu Kusuma Vrishtayaha, Munayas Tushtuvus Tushtaha. So add a Visargan comma there, Tushtaha. Jagur Gandharva Kinnaraha. Divyavadhyanta Turyani, Petu Kusuma Vrishtayaha, Munayas Tushtuvus Tushtaha, Jagur Gandharva Kinnaraha.
दिव्यवाद्यन्ततूर्याणि पेतुः कुसुमवृष्टयः मुनयस्तुष्टुवुस्तुष्टाः जगुर्गन्धर्वकिन्नराः
दिव्यवाद्यन्ततूर्याणि पेतुः कुसुमवृष्टयः मुनयस्तुष्टुवुस्तुष्टाः जगुर्गन्धर्वकिन्नराः
नृत्यन्ति स्म स्त्रियो देव्यः कॉमा आसीत् परम मंगलम देवा ब्रह्मादयः सर्वे कॉमा उपतस्तुर अभिष्टवैः. If you want to break it there, नृत्यन्ति स्म स्त्रियो देव्यः आसीत् परम मंगलम देवा ब्रह्मादयः सर्वे उपतस्तुर अभिष्टवैः.
नृत्यन्ति स्म स्त्रियोर्देव्यः आसीत् परममङ्गलम् देवा ब्रह्मादयः सर्वे उपतस्तुरभिष्टवैः
नृत्यन्ति स्म स्त्रियो देव्यः आसीत् परममङ्गलम् देवा ब्रह्मादयः सर्वे उपतस्थुरभिष्टवैः.
Let me quickly just say before the Deva Uchuhu comes. So now we're going to one of the child. I'm just looking at this hierarchy, so don't make a mistake here. So one of the children, now we're going to Prasuti. So if you look at the Prasuti, she's getting married to Daksha. Now again, Daksha is also one of the person who's born from Brahma. Now there are going to be two Dakshas. This is the first incarnation of Daksha. So to this Daksha and Prasuti are born 16 daughters. And the way the 16 daughters are given, 13 of those daughters are given to Dharma Deva. One Swaha is given to Agni. That's why when you're doing something, oblations to Agni, you say Swaha, because you're also giving it to Swaha. Swadha is given to the Pitras, the leader of the Pitras. And then Sati, which is the 16th daughter, is given to Lord Shiva. Right? Those are the 16 daughters. And this, if you want a reference, you can go look at the first stanza of Dashakam 16 of Narayaniyam, where Nara Narayana Dashakam, which comes in that's what it starts. I think it starts with Daksho Virincha Tanayota Manos Tanujam Labdham Prasuti Miha Shodasha Chapakanyaha. 16 children she gets. Now, in that, to the Dharma Deva and Murti. So Murtir hi Dharma Grihini Sushuve Bhavantam Narayanam Narasakam 16th Dashakam, second stanza. So to this Murti and Dharma Deva are born Nara and Narayana. They are the incarnations who are born. And in the Narayanam, in Dashakam 16 itself, Bhattatripa told the entire story of Nara and Narayana. But in Bhagavatam, the remaining story of Nara Narayana is only going to come in the 11th skandam. When they talk about, when they're doing the meditation, Indra will send and Urvashi will get formed from that type. All of that is only going to come in the 11th skandam. So here he's just introducing the birth of Nara and Narayana to Murti and Dharmadeva. And then the remaining, the children, the 13 daughters is mentioned in, which stanza was it? In stanza 49, Shraddha, Maitri, Daya, Shanti, Tushti, Pushti, all of those are the names of the other 13 daughters who are actually getting married. And Murti, Dharmasya Patnyayaha. The Murti is one of the wife to whom Nara and Narayana are born. So that is just the introduction is given here. And it just says that when Nara and Narayana are born, then everybody comes to visit. So Gandharva, the Kinnaras, everybody comes to the place to do namaskarams to Nara and Narayana. And Deva Uchuhu, that's the next few stanzas, are a stuti that the Devas are doing to Nara and Narayana. So it's only covered up to a particular point in this chapter here. So that is you can see that the hierarchy anyway in the PDF. So Deva
Ujuhu and Deva Uvaja, is it same or is there any difference?
No, Deva Uchuhu means multiple Devas are saying it together. Deva Uchuhu. Okay. Devyo Vacha becomes, that is like Devi Uvacha. So Devyo Vacha. So Deva, when it comes, multiple Devas are saying, it becomes Uchuhu.
So wherever there is Ujuhu, it is usually multiple people saying?
Yeah, multiple. The Devas, multiple Devas are saying that, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Rajesh.
Deva Uchuhu, Yo Mayaya Virachitam Nijayatmanidam, Khe Rupa Bhedamiva Tat Prati Chakshanaya Yetena Dharma Sadane Rishi Murtinadhya, Pradus Chakara Purushaya Namah Parasmai. Stuti. So Namaha. Namaskarams to you.
அப்ப இதுவும் தனியா சொல்லலாமா ராஜேஷ்?
Anytime it's like a stuti, it's a small stuti. It's only 2 stanzas though, 56 and 57.
56, 57.
Yeah. So it's a special, just a specific Nara Narayana stuti in the rendu stanza, 56, 57. Deva Uchuhu, Yo Mayaya Virachitam Nijayatmanidam, Khe Rupa Bhedamiva Tat Prati Chakshanaya, Yetena Dharma Sadane Rishimurtinadhya, Praduschakara Purushaya Namah Parasmai.
Yo Mayaya Virachitam Nijayatmanitam Nidam Ke Rupa Bheda Mivatat Pratikshanaya Pratichakshanaya Yetena Dharma Sadhane Rushimurtinadhya Praduschakara Purushaya Namah Parasmai.
Deva Uchuhu Yo Mayaya Virachitam Nijayatmanidam Khe Rupa Bhedamiva Tat Pratichakshanaya Yetena Dharma Sadane Rishimurtinadhya Praduschakara Purushaya Namah Parasmai.
Soyam Sthiti Vyatikaropa Shamaya. That's one word. Vyatikaropa Shamaya Srishtan, Satvena Nas Sura Ganan Anumeya. I'm just breaking at that now. Anumeya Tattvaha Drishyadadhabra Karunena Vilokanena, Yat Shri Niketam Amalam Kshipatara Vindham. Sohyam Stitibhyatikaropa Shamaya Srishtan Satvena Nasuraganan Anumeya Tattvaha Drishyadadhabra Karunena Vilokanena Yat Shri Niketam Amalam Kshipatara Vindham.
Soyam Stitivyadikaropashamaya Srishtan Satvena Nata Suraganan Anumeya Tattvaha Drishyadatappara Vilokanena Yashri Niketamamalam Kshipadara Vindam.
The second and third, the second line on the Satvena nas sura.
Nash சொன்னேனா?
Something you said different. Nas sura.
Nas suragana.
And then the third line la Drishyada dabra karunena.
Nishyadada karunena vilokanena.
Yeah, the second bha in Sanskrit.
Okay.
सोऽयं स्थितिव्यतिकरोपशमाय सृष्टान् सत्त्वेन नः सुरगणान् अनुमेय तत्त्वः दृश्याददभ्रकरुणेन विलोकनेन यच्छ्रीनिकेतममलं क्षिपतारविन्दम्.
More in switch. Evam sura ganaistata, bhagavantava bhishtutau labdhava lokair yayatuhu. So the ra that is there, we're going to break it. Yayatuhu visarga comma architau gandha madanam. Evam suraganaistata bhagavantava bhishtutau labdhava lokair yayatuhu architau gandha madanam.
Evam suraganaistada bhagavantavabhishtutau labdhavalokairyaduhu architau gandhamadanam.
The second yayatuhu.
Yayatu, okay. Lokairyaduhu architau gandhamadanam.
एवं सुरगणैस्तात भगवन्तावभिष्टुतौ लब्धावलोकैर्ययतुः अर्चितौ गन्धमादनम्.
We'll switch. Then the last 10 minutes I'm going to reserve for meaning. Sundari, you can be a student, and Vani Garu can be a student. Tavimau vai bhagavato, harir amsha vihagatau bhara vyayaya cha bhuvaha, krishnau yadu kurudvahau. Tavimau vai bhagavato harir amsha vihagatau bhara vyayaya cha bhuvaha krishnau yadu kurudvahau.
Rajesh gar, I cannot chant today.
So, okay, no worries. Okay, Srividya Ramesh, you can be a student. Yeah. Go ahead, Sundari.
ताविमौ वै भगवतो हरेरंशा विहागतौ भारव्ययाय च भुवः कृष्णौ यदुकुरुद्वहौ.
ताविमौ वै भगवतो हरेरंशा विहागतौ भारव्यायाय च भुवः कृष्णौ यदुकुरुद्वहौ.
Bharavyayaya, on the word.
Bharavyayaya, okay.
Swahabhimaninash, one word. Swahabhimaninash chagnehe. So the ra goes away, visarga, chagnehe. Next word starts with the a. Atmajams treen ajijanat. If you want to break it, Atmajams treen ajijanat. Pavakam pavamanam cha, shuchim cha huta bhojanam. Swahabhimaninaschagnehe atmajam strinaji janat pavakam pavamanam cha shuchim cha huta bhojanam.
स्वाहाभिमानिनश्चाग्नेः आत्मजां स्त्रीन् अजीजनत् पावकं पवमानं च शुचिं च हुतभोजनम्.
स्वाहाभिमानिनश्चाग्नेः आत्मजां
Treen, you can break it that na. Treen aji janat.
Okay. Jam streen ajijanat pavakam pavamanam cha suchim cha huta bhojanam.
Tebhyognayas. It's Agnaya, but that S symbol is coming there. Tebhyognayas samabhavan, chatvarimshatcha panchacha ta evaikona panchashat, put a plus, sakam pitru pitamahaihi. The last line is continuous. तेभ्योऽग्नयः समभवन् चत्वारिंशच्च पञ्च च त एवैकोनपञ्चाशत् साकं पितृपितामहैः
तेभ्योऽग्नयः समभवन् चत्वारिंशच्च पञ्च च त एवैकोनपञ्चाशत् साकं पितृपितामहैः
तेभ्योऽग्नयः समभवन् चत्वारिंशच्च पञ्च च त एवैकोनपञ्चाशत् साकं पितृपितामहैः
वैथानिके कर्मणि यत्. So double na that is there. The first na becomes it yat comma namabhir brahma vadibhi agneya ishtayo yagne comma nirupyante yastu te. So that nirupyante agneyastu te, but that s symbol is there. So you have to say that whole word together. Nirupyante yastu te. वैधानिके कर्मणि यत् नामभिर्ब्रह्मवादिभिः आग्नेय इष्टयो यज्ञे निरूप्यन्ते ते.
वैतानिके कर्मणि यत् नामभिर्ब्रह्मवादिभिः आग्नेय इष्टयो यज्ञे निरूप्यन्तेऽग्नयस्तु ते
वैतानिके कर्मणि यत् नामभिर्ब्रह्मवादिभिः आग्नेय इष्टयो यज्ञे निरूप्यन्तेऽग्न्यस्तु ते
अग्निश्वाता बर्हिषदः सौम्याः पितर आज्यपाः साग्नयो नग्नयस. Again same way, साग्नयो anagnayas there, but then the a is a yes symbol. So साग्नयो नग्नयस तेषां पत्नी दाक्षायिनी स्वधा. अग्निश्वाता बर्हिषदः सौम्याः पितर आज्यपाः साग्नयो नग्नयस्तेषां पत्नी दाक्षायिनी स्वधा.
अग्निश्वात्ता बर्हिषदः सौम्याः पितर आज्यपाः साग्नयोऽग्नयस्तेषां पत्नी दाक्षायणी स्वधा
अग्निश्वात्ता बहिर्षदः सौम्याः पितर आज्यपाः साग्नयो नग्न्यस्तेषां पत्नी दाक्षायणी स्वदा.
And the first line la barhishadaha, the word.
Barhishadaha, okay.
And the second line, first word, sagnayo nagnayas.
Sagnayo nagnayas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Gochin, did you get a question?
Yeah, first word Agni Shwata or Shwata, double ta or single ta?
It and ta, Agni Shvat ta.
Okay.
It and ta there. Tebhyo dhadhara kanye dve, vayunam dharinam swadha, ubhe te brahma vadinyau, jnana vijnana parage. तेभ्यो दधार कन्ये द्वे वयुनां धारिणीं स्वधा उभे ते ब्रह्मवादिन्यौ ज्ञान विज्ञान पारगे.
तेभ्यो दधार कन्ये द्वे वयूनां धारिणीं स्वधा उभे ते ब्रह्मवादिन्यौ ज्ञानविज्ञानपारगे.
Sundari and the first and the vayunam short you vayunam.
तेभ्यो ददार कन्ये द्वे वयुनां धारिणीं स्वधा उभे ते ब्रह्मवादिन्यौ ज्ञानविज्ञानपारगे.
भवस्य पत्नी तु सती भवं देवमनुव्रता आत्मनः सदृशं पुत्रं न लेभे गुणशीलतः. भवस्य पत्नी तु सती भवं देवमनुव्रता आत्मनः सदृशं पुत्रं न लेभे गुणशीलतः.
भवस्य पत्नी तु सती भवं देवम् अनुव्रता आत्मनः सदृशं पुत्रं न लेभे गुणशीलतः.
भवस्य पत्नी तु सती भवं देवमनुव्रता आत्मनः सदृशं पुत्रं न लेभे गुणशीतलः
शीलतः
शीलतः
पितर्य प्रतिरूप, just one word, pitarya pratirupe swe, comma, bhavayanagase, one word, bhavayanagase rusha, apraudhaivatmanatmanam, one word. So apraudhaivatmana atmanam. Okay, so that double is coming there, comma, that ma you break it im, comma. Next word starts with the a. Ajahad Yoga Samyuta. I'm just breaking that dya there into it and a ya for easiness. Ajahad Yoga Samyuta. Pitarhya Pratirupe Swe Bhavaya Nagase Rusha Apraudhai Vatmanatmanam Ajahad Yoga Samyuta.
पितर्य प्रतिरूपे स्वे भवाया नागसे रुषा अप्रौढैवात्मनात्मानम् अजहात् योगसंयुता
पितर्य प्रतिरूपे स्वे भवाया नागसेरुषा अप्रौढैवात्मनात्मानम् अजहाद्योगसंयुता
इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायां चतुर्थस्कन्धे विदुर मैत्रेय संवादे प्रथमोऽध्यायः.
It's a big one.
Which one?
The first one.
Yes.
Pratamaskandam.
Yes.
इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायां चतुर्थस्कन्धे विदुरमैत्रेयसंवादे प्रथमोऽध्यायः
इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायां चतुर्थस्कन्धे विदुरमैत्रेयसंवादे प्रथमोऽध्यायः
Quickly wrap up the meaning of the first thing. So we saw Nara and Narayana are born to Murti and Dharmadeva. Right? The Devas come do the sing Namaskaram, the Stuti there. Now, then here in Narayaniyam, if you remember, it talks about the Sahasra Kavacha. This is one of the purpose of the Narayana incarnation, to get rid of the Sahasra Kavacha, who had a boon that he will have 1,000 Kavachams, and for each of the Kavacham to be gotten rid of, somebody has to have the yogic power of meditating for 1,000 years and then battle him for 1,000 years to get rid of one kavacham, and then he has 1,000 kavachams, that is Sahasra Kavacha. And then because Narayana is already born with the yogic power, first time Narayana is battling him, at that time Nara is going into meditation for 1,000 years, and first kavacham is removed, and then that keeps going alternately, and then eventually the odd numbers are taken by Narayana, even numbers are taken by Nara. And that's why here, and that story is not in Bhagavatam. That story, Sahasra Kavacha, comes in Mahabharatam. Narayaniam, that is there though. But here, what Shukra Prabhu is saying, or Maitreya is saying, is that Nara and Narayana are now born were born in this clan as Krishna and Arjuna. Right? So that was the combination. When we spoke about in Narayaniam, we said they were all born, and the last incarnation of them was Krishna. Narayana is coming as Krishna, and Nara is born as Arjuna. And because the odd number times the Sahasra Kavacha was gotten rid by Nara, the 1,000th time he was gotten rid by Arjuna. Right? That's how the equation is coming to an end. Right? In that Mahabharata war. So here it's only talking about that Nara and Narayana are the ones who are again born as Krishna, and the same, that incarnation as Krishna and Arjuna. That's where they teamed up to get rid of Karna, right? Which was the 1,000th Kavacham of Sahasra Kavacha. Anyway, so then the important thing, it comes now, the main portion of this is coming to Sati, right? He says, so with that we saw that Swaha got married to Agni, Swada got married to the Pitras. He says the 16th daughter of Daksha and Prasuti is Sati. So that Sati was then got married to Shiva, right? That's how it, and this story is wrapping up in this chapter, saying that although the Sati was the wife of Lord Shiva and she was very devoted to her husband and all of that, they did not have any children. Sati and Shiva did not have any children. And it says, because, even though that's reason for that is because Sati's father Daksha used to had a problem with Shiva, because of which Sati gave up her body. Yoga Samyuta means Yoga Samyuta means through yogic power she gave up her body. That's how this chapter is coming to an end. And in the next chapter, Vidura is going to ask a question of why did that happen. And then we're going to have 6 chapters of Daksha Charitram along with Sati and Shiva. That's going to be going for 6 chapters there. So that's how this chapter comes to an end. Okay, we'll do another 5-6 more minutes of the Dvitiyodhyaya, and then I'll tell the initial story of 2. So at the Dvitiyodhyaya, Vidura Vacha Bhave Shilavatam Sreshte, Daksho Duhitru Vatsalah Vidvesham. So I'm breaking at the ma. Vidvesham Akarot Kasmat. So the that is there, breaking into it and a Kasmat, Anadhrityatmajam Satim. Vidurauvacha Bhave Shilavatam Sreshte Daksho Duhitruvatsalah Vidvesham Makarot Kasmat Anadhrityatmajam Satim.
Vidurauvacha Bhave Shilavatam Sreshte Daksho Duhitruvatsalah Vidvesham Akarot Kasmat Anadhrutyatmajam Satim.
Vidurauvacha Bhave Shilavatam Sreshte Daksho Duhitruvatsalah Vidvesham Akarot Kasmat Anadhrityatmajam Satim.
Kastam Charachara Gurum, Nirvairam Shanta Vigraham Atmaramam Katam Dveshti, Jagato Daivatam Mahate. Kastam Charachara Gurum Nirvairam Shanta Vigraham Atmaramam Katam Dveshti Jagato Daivatam Mahate.
Kastam Charachara Gurum Nirvairam Shanta Vigraham Atma Ramam Katham Dveshti Jagato Daivatam Mahat.
Kastam Charachara Gurum Nirvairam Shanta Vigraham Atma Ramam Katam Dveshti Jagato Dvaivatam Mahat.
Daivatam Mahat, second last word.
Daivatam Mahat, sorry.
Etadakhyahi me Brahman, Jamatush Shvasurasya cha Vidveshastu Yatah Pranan. In Sanskrit, you may have that im and a is. So that goes away. It becomes a in. Pranan, in, Tatyaje Dustyajan Sati. Etadakhyahi me Brahman Jamatushvasurasya cha Vidveshastu Yatah Pranan Tatyaje Dustyajan Sati.
Etad akhyahi me Brahman Jamatu Shvashurasya cha Vidveshastu Yatah Pranan Tatyaje Dustyajan Sati.
Yeah, that's the one word there. Dustyajan.
Dustyajan Sati.
Etad akhyahi me Brahman Jamatushvashurasya cha Vidveshastu Yatah Pranan Tatyaje Dustyajan Sati.
Maitreho Vacha Pura Vishwa Srijam Satre, Sametaf Paramarshayah Tathamara Gana Sarve, Sanuga Munayognayah. Maitreho Vacha Pura Vishwa Srijam Satre Sametaf Paramarshayah Tathamara Gana Sarve, Sanuga Munayognayah.
Maitreya Uvacha Pura Vishvasrujam Satre Sametah Paramarshayah Tatha Maragana Sarve Sanuga Munayognayah.
Maitreya Uvacha Pura Vishvasrujam Satre Sametah Paramarshayah Tatha Maragana Sarve Sanuga Munayognayah.
Tatra Pravrishtam Rishayo, just breaking at that ma there, Pravrishtam Rishayo, Drishtvarkamiva Rochisha, Bhajamanam Vitimiram, Kurvantam Tan Mahatsadaha. Tatra Pravrishtam Rishayo, दृष्ट्वार्कमिव रोचिषा भ्राजमानं वितिमिरं कुर्वन्तं तन्महत्सदः
तत्र प्रविष्टं ऋषयो दृष्ट्वार्कम् इव रोचिषा भ्राजमानं वितिमिरं कुर्वन्तं तन्महत्सदः
तत्र प्रविष्टमृषयो दृष्ट्वार्कमिव रोचिषा भ्राजमानं वितिमिरं कुर्वन्तं तन्महत्सदः
उदतिष्ठन् सदस्यास्ते स्वदिष्णेभ्यः सहाग्नयः ऋते विरिञ्चं शर्वं च तद्भासाक्षिप्त one word तद्भासाक्षिप्त चेतसः उदतिष्ठन् सदस्यास्ते स्वदिष्णेभ्यः सहाग्नयः ऋते विरिञ्चं शर्वं च तद्भासाक्षिप्त चेतसः
उदतिष्ठन् सदस्यास्ते स्वधिष्ण्येभ्यः सहाग्नयः ऋते विरिञ्चं शर्वं च तद्भासाक्षिप्तचेतसः
उदतिष्ठन् सदस्यास्ते स्वदिष्ण्येभ्यः सहाग्नयः ऋते विरिञ्चं शर्वं च तद्भासाक्षिप्तचेतसः
सदसस्पतिभिर्दक्षो भगवान् साधु सत्कृतः अजं लोकगुरुं नत्वा निशसाद तदाज्ञया सदसस्पतिभिर्दक्षो भगवान् साधु सत्कृतः अजं लोकगुरुं नत्वा निशसाद तदाज्ञया
सदसस्पतिभिर्दक्षो भगवान् साधु सत्कृतः अजं लोकगुरुं नत्वा निशसाद तदाज्ञया
सदसस्पतिभिर्दक्षो भगवान् साधु सत्कृतः अजं लोकगुरुं नत्वा निशसाद तदाज्ञया
प्राङ् निषण्णं मृडं दृष्ट्वा नामृष्यत् तदनादृतः इत्थण्डताद तदनादृतः उवाच वामं चक्षुर्भ्याम् इं अभिवीक्ष्य दहन्निव प्राङ् निषण्णं मृडं दृष्ट्वा नामृष्यत् तदनादृतः उवाच वामं चक्षुर्भ्याम् अभिवीक्ष्य दहन्निव
प्राङ् निषण्णं मृडं दृष्ट्वा नामृष्यत् तदनादृतः उवाच वामं चक्षुर्भ्याम् अभिवीक्ष्य दहन्निव
प्राङ् निषण्णं मृडं दृष्ट्वा नाममृष्यत् तदनादृतः उवाच वामं चक्षुर्भ्याम् अभिवीक्ष्य दहन्निव.
We'll pause here. Okay, so the next 6 chapters, right, from 4.2 to 4.7, is very detailed conversation about the first incarnation of Daksha and the Sati and Daksha Charitram that's going to happen. So each goes into excruciating detail of every incident that actually happens, right? And everything. In our anime, it was condensed in like 2 stanzas. They finished the entire story off. We generally know the story, but this goes into a lot of details of specifically who said what, right, to each person, right? All the details here. So it's kind of like in the previous one, Maitreya ended by saying that Sati got married to Shiva, but they did not have any children, right? And Daksha rebuked Shiva, because of which Sati gave up her body, right? Through her yogic powers. That's how that ended. So Vidura naturally is asking a follow-up question saying, Daksha, it's his daughter, right? Sati is his daughter. And he says Shiva is a very gentle person. He's not an angry person. He's gently very calm person. He's a very spiritual person. He doesn't have enmity with anybody. He in fact doesn't care about whatever you tell him. Like you can yell at him, nothing happens. He's not impacted by it at all. And he's one of the greatest. So how can somebody like Daksha have such an enmity towards somebody who's Shiva, who's auspicious? How can somebody behave in an inauspicious way, right? That's what the question is asking. So he says, well, how did that quarrel happen, right? So for which he then goes on, and I'll end at the conversation that between Daksha and Shiva in today's class. So, then he goes on saying that long time back, there was a big yajna which was being conducted with all the devas and all the rishis. Everybody had come. They were going to be conducting a big yajna. Indra, everybody was there. Brahma, Shiva was there. Narayana or Vishnu was not there for a reason, and we'll see that towards the end. So, everybody was there. So at that time, Daksha, who's the leader of all of the Prajapatis of Brahma, all the Prajapatis, Daksha is the leader. So he's entering into the arena and he's very Tejasvi. So he's very lustrous. His body is shining. He's entering into that. So naturally, everybody is getting up, standing up to welcome him and respect him. Everybody prostrates to him, all of that stuff, except two people, right? One is Brahma, one is Shiva. Now, Brahma, of course, is Daksha's come from Brahma, right? So for Daksha, Brahma is like a father. Like we said, the father word doesn't apply here, but he came from Brahma. So naturally, he offered his namaskarams, prostrations to Brahma, and then he took a seat. But he saw that Shiva did not get up. And Shiva never meant to insult Daksha. It was like Shiva is just satisfied in himself. He doesn't care about any of these things. That was the primary reason. So when this happens, then Daksha then gets very angry. And Daksha then goes on a long tirade. It goes from stanza 9 to 16, like 7 stanzas of Daksha cursing. And when you say, you feel bad saying it, but I'll say it because Daksha said it, right? So it's always a little hard to say these things, right? So he goes on and says that I'm going to preach you all on how to behave, right? And what a cultured person is supposed to do. Daksha, that's how he starts. And he says, I'm not doing it because I'm angry at anybody. I'm not doing it because I'm jealous of anybody. I'm doing it because people have to be taught a lesson of how they need to behave, right? And then he then goes on and says, this person, Shiva, when all these people are present, then there's a certain etiquette that needs to be maintained. And this person, Shiva, who's there, doesn't know how to maintain that etiquette. He's breaking all of these rules there. He's a shameless person. And then he says that, because I gave my daughter to Shiva in this thing. So technically, he says he's like my subordinate. He's like my son, so he's subordinate to me. And then even though he's subordinate to me and he's my son-in-law, he doesn't show me any respect, right? And then he says in stanza 12, and you can read that also. Mriga, he says, I have a daughter whose eyes are like that of a deer, right? So we say generally women's eyes, they compare to a deer to say it's very beautiful like deer's eyes. But I married it to a person whose eyes are like a monkey's eyes. So I ended up marrying, my daughter with a deer, doe-eyed person to a person who's, married, whose eyes are like a monkey, and still he doesn't stand up to respect me. And he says, and the next one he says that giving my daughter to Shiva was like teaching Vedas to a Shudra. So like you don't teach Vedas to a Shudra because that person doesn't know how to receive it. He doesn't know the benefit. He's not capable of it, right? He's not at the right level for it. He says that way Shiva is not at the right standard. And he says, I gave it to Shiva only because Brahma told me to give it to Shiva. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got my daughter married to Shiva. And then he goes and says that, he doesn't live in a good place. He lives in crematoriums. He's like a mad person. He doesn't wear proper clothes. He has this ashes bhasmam all over his body. He doesn't bath. And naturally, the people who follow him, all these Bhuta Ghanas who are there, who follow Shiva, are also like him, right? They don't bath. They live in crematoriums. They're like the ghost and all of this stuff. And with that, he then continuously goes and, tirades against Shiva. And once then what he does is he finally gives a curse to Shiva. So first he's telling bad things, right? Saying that I'm really upset at you. And then he gives a curse to Shiva, where he says that all the offerings which are actually done in all of these yajnams, right, which are going to be done, where you offer it to the various and they all get it, none of that will become part of Shiva, right? So Shiva will not get any of those offerings, right? With that, he says that, and he sees that Shiva still does not respond. So he's constantly going on saying all these things, and he says that Shiva is quiet. So he gets even more upset because when the other person doesn't speak, you get even more upset about it. And then Daksha walks away, right? So that's kind of where we'll stop today. And then we'll see what happens in the next part of this, right? Shri Hare Namaha, Shri Hare Namaha, Shri Hare Namaha. Gopika Jeevana Smaranam Govinda Govinda. Sadhurunath Maharaj ki jai. Kahena vacha manasendriye va buddhyatmana va prakrite swabhavat. Karomi yatyat sakalam parasmai narayanaeti samarpayami. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
very
much.
much.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.